Last week's video left off after exploring some of southwestern Utah, where I stayed at Quail Creek State Park for the night. This morning I'm going to try these Kodiak cakes for breakfast. I do not have a bowl to mix it in, so we'll see how this goes. I'm going to try to mix it on a plate. Alright, scratch that. I'm going to mix it in the pot. I forgot to bring my syrup with me, which is disappointing because I have homemade maple syrup. My parents have been tapping the trees on their property and making their own syrup. So I think I'm going to put some peanut butter on top and see how that goes. Okay, so here's the final product. Let's see how it tastes. Pretty good. Okay, so we got all packed up and headed to what I thought was going to be our first hike for the day, and it took me into a gated community, so obviously that's not right. I just pulled into a gas station and we're going to figure it out and see if we can find the trailhead. Okay, we found the trailhead. We did have to pay $10 to park. I think that it's because it's part of Snow Canyon Park, which I didn't realize. So we paid our $10 and we are starting our hike. Let's go. There's a ton of black lava rocks and it contrasts really well with this orange rocks. It looks pretty cool. Okay, you can do it. We have quite a few stairs to go up now. This way. We're getting closer. You can do it. You can do it. Go ahead. We made it. Cool cave. And this is now our view. Here is the cave. Pretty cool. And these are the views behind us. It's a fun hike. And we begin our descent of the many, many stairs. Alright, we made it back to the trailhead. The hike was 5.5 miles round trip with about 500 feet of elevation change. Most of it's just flat. The last maybe third or fourth of the trail is where you get all of the elevation. Wasn't too bad. We are gonna go back to the car. I'm gonna get Maya some fresh cold water and we're gonna eat some lunch. Of course, when I got here, I had to wait for a spot, and now basically the whole parking lot is empty. Alright, so it's 84 degrees, which means it is too hot for the puppy to do another hike today. So I think what the game plan is now is to just head back to camp for the night. We are staying at a different campground tonight. We are staying at Sand Hollow State Park, which is very close to the other park actually, and I think it's gonna be pretty similar because it's on another reservoir. But I think tonight's site is actually on a beach, so let's go check it out. The wind here was so bad that you couldn't hear a thing I said, so I'm going to switch over to narrating. This camp spot was really cool. We had this little cove to ourselves. However, we didn't have any type of shade, so I set up these tent stakes that I had recently got. You just put the pieces together and then use them with a tarp. So I tied half of the tarp to my roof rails and then put the other end in the 2 tent poles and tied rope from there to the ground. After that, I started cooking dinner for the night. Tonight's menu was pork chops, broccoli, and mashed potatoes. And here's the finished product. Unfortunately, it was so windy that the sand was blowing up into my food. The rest of the night we just hung out and watched all of the ducks and birds that were coming into our little cove. It was really fun to be able to watch them from our camp spot. Maya was really fighting the urge to bark and scare them away. I think I tired this little girl out today. What a sweetie pie. That's all for this week's adventure. If you want to see more of this trip, stay tuned for next week. As always, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!